What if the more you ignore her, the more she feels it? See, most men get it all wrong. They think chasing, pleading, and proving their worth will bring her back. Nope. That only confirms what she already believes, that she's in control, that she's the prize, that you need her. But the moment you stop, truly stop, everything shifts. Think about it. When was the last time you truly missed someone? It wasn't when they were constantly available, constantly seeking your attention. It was when they disappeared, when their silence made you wonder, when you started questioning if they ever really needed you at all. And that's the key. She expects pain. She expects you to beg. She expects you to break, because that's what most men do. But when you do nothing, when you vanish like she never mattered, it unnerves her. Silence is power. Absence creates doubt. And doubt is the seed that grows into regret. She might have been certain when she left, certain that you'd always be there, certain that if she wanted, she could come back. But the moment you stop feeding her ego, the moment she realizes she's not as important as she thought, her certainty crumbles. And that's when everything changes. This is where you make a choice. Will you let heartbreak define you? Will you waste your time chasing someone who has already walked away? Or will you become the man she never saw coming? A man so composed, so unbothered, that she starts questioning herself instead? Because here's the truth. The strongest position in any relationship, in any situation, is the one of least attachment. The one who is least affected, who is least emotionally invested, wins. That's why the more you ignore her, the more she feels it. Because people don't value what's given freely. They value what they have to work for. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to reclaim your power using principles from Stoicism and dark psychology. Step by step, you'll learn how to detach, how to rebuild, and how to make her feel your absence like a ghost she can't shake. And by the end of this, you won't just be stronger, you'll be untouchable. If you're done suffering, if you're ready to become someone she regrets losing, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I control my emotions, they do not control me. Now let's begin. Indifference is the ultimate power move. Nothing makes a person rethink their choices faster than indifference. Not anger, not sadness, not even silence. True power, true dominance, comes from acting like you don't care at all. See, emotions are leverage. If you react, she knows she still has an effect on you. If you lash out, if you try to make her jealous, if you overanalyze every little thing she does online, you lose. Why? Because that tells her one thing: you're still emotionally invested. And the one who is most invested is the one who has the least power. But when you give her nothing, no reaction, no response, no validation, that's when she starts to panic. Because now, she doesn't know where she stands. She expected you to chase. She expected you to be affected. And now suddenly, she's the one feeling unbalanced. Here's a brutal truth. When someone knows they can have you anytime they want, they don't value you. But when you make them question that certainty, everything changes. This is why indifference is the ultimate power move. When you stop showing her she matters, she starts wondering why. She'll look for signs that you're struggling without her. And when she finds nothing, that's when she starts feeling the loss. Think about it. How do people react when they lose something important? They try to find it. They try to fix it. But when they realize it might actually be gone, that's when the desperation kicks in. And that's exactly what happens when you master indifference. You don't ignore her to get her back. You ignore her because you don't need her back. And that shift in energy? That's what makes her obsessed. She'll test you. She'll throw out little breadcrumbs to see if you bite, a random like a subtle story post, a message that means nothing but is meant to poke at you. Don't fall for it. Every time you react, you reset the game. Every time you engage, you show her she still has power over you. So you do nothing. You stay cold. You show her that she is now irrelevant. And that right there is what makes her rethink everything. If you're done reacting, if you're ready to take your power back, Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I owe nothing to the past. You were never chasing her. You were chasing validation. Let's be real for a second. Was it ever really her that you wanted? Or was it how she made you feel? Was it the thrill of being chosen? The rush of being desired? The validation of knowing that someone wanted you? Most men don't realize this until it's too late. They think they're heartbroken over her. But what they're really mourning is the way she made them feel about themselves. And that is the trap. Because if you don't recognize it, you'll keep chasing, not because she's special, but because you're addicted to the feeling of being enough. Here's the brutal truth. If you truly loved her, you would have loved yourself first. But what happened? You gave her the power to define your worth. You let her approval dictate how you saw yourself. And the moment she pulled away, you felt empty. Not because she was the only woman for you, but because without her validation, you don't know how to validate yourself. That ends today. You were never chasing her. You were chasing the illusion that you needed her to feel whole. But let me ask you this. What happens when you stop? What happens when you decide that you don't need anyone's approval to feel valuable? That's when everything shifts. Because now, instead of chasing external validation, you start building internal validation. You stop looking at her as a source of happiness and start looking within. And when that happens, you become untouchable. Because here's what most people never tell you. Women are drawn to men who don't need them. Not because they want to be ignored, but because self-sufficiency is attractive. A man who doesn't need her attention, her approval, or her presence to feel complete. That's the man she can't stop thinking about. So stop chasing the high of being chosen. Stop seeking validation outside of yourself. The moment you realize that the only person who ever needed to approve of you was you, you break free from the cycle. And here's the kicker. The moment you stop needing her validation, she starts needing yours. If you're done looking outside yourself for worth, if you're ready to be your own source of validation, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I validate myself. No one else has that power. The power of absence. The more you ignore her, the more she feels it. Why? Because human nature thrives on contrast. We only start to appreciate things once they're gone. Think about the air you breathe. You never notice it until you're underwater, gasping for it. Attention works the same way. As long as she knows you're there, waiting, she doesn't have to think about you. But the moment you disappear, when your presence fades into silence, she feels it. Like a missing piece she never realized was holding her together. Right now, she assumes she has you on standby. She believes that if she ever wanted, she could reach out and you'd come running. That certainty makes you predictable, and predictability kills attraction. But when you step back, when you cut off the attention she once took for granted, everything shifts. Suddenly there's a void, and the human mind hates voids. It rushes to fill them with questions, doubts, and regret. Did I make the right decision? Why hasn't he reached out? Did he move on that fast? Was I wrong about him? The moment you stop feeding her ego, she starts to wonder if she misjudged you. And that's when she begins to lose control. Absence is powerful because it creates scarcity, and scarcity creates value. That's why luxury brands limit their products. Why is a Rolex worth more than an ordinary watch? Not because it tells time better, but because it's rare. Not everyone can have it. The same rule applies to you. If you're always available, always within reach, you lose your value. But the moment you become scarce, she starts seeing you differently. The first step to making her feel your absence. Silence. No texts, no calls, no watching her stories, no liking her posts. You disappear completely. And when you do, she'll feel that shift like a knife. She might act like she doesn't care. She might post. She might laugh. She might try to make it look like she's moved on. But in the quiet moments, when no one's watching, she'll feel it. She'll check her phone. expecting a message that never comes. She'll glance at her notifications, searching for your name. And with each passing day of silence, she'll wonder more and more. Did I lose him for good? That's when regret sets in. If you're done being taken for granted, if you're ready to make your absence felt, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My silence speaks louder than words. The Stoic mindset: detach or be destroyed. There are only two choices in heartbreak: detach or be destroyed. You can let this break you, let it consume your thoughts, make you desperate, weak, and lost. Or you can take this pain and turn it into fuel to build yourself into something greater. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about mastering them. It's about understanding a simple truth: you do not control other people, you only control yourself. And that's where most men fail. They waste time overanalyzing her actions, dissecting her words, obsessing over whether she's moved on. That's the path of destruction. That's the path of weakness. Because every second you spend focused on her is a second you're not building yourself. A Stoic man does not chase. He does not beg. He does not seek closure. Why? Because he understands that the only thing he controls is his response, not her actions. She left? Fine. That's outside your control. What's in your control? Your response, your discipline, your growth. And here's the irony. When you master detachment, when you stop caring whether she regrets leaving or not, that's when she feels it the most. Because now you're no longer emotionally invested. Now you are no longer hers. Detachment is freedom. Freedom from needing validation. Freedom from chasing answers you don't need. Freedom from allowing someone else to control your emotions. So here's what you do. Stop watching her life from the sidelines. Stop checking her social media. Stop entertaining the idea of what could have been. Because every moment spent dwelling on the past is a moment wasted on your future. Instead, shift your focus. Hit the gym. Build your skills. Create a life so fulfilling that whether she comes back or not doesn't even matter anymore. Because by then, you'll already be too far ahead. And that's when the real power shift happens. When she realizes that she no longer affects you. When she sees that you didn't just survive without her, you thrived. If you're ready to take full control of your mind, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I control my focus, and my focus is on me. The reverse chase: make her feel your absence. Right now, she thinks she's won. She thinks you're sitting there, suffering in silence, waiting for a chance to prove your worth. But what happens when the script flips? What happens when, instead of chasing her, she starts chasing you? Most men think they need to do something to get her attention back. Nope. The real move is to do nothing. Because when you disappear, when you show absolute disinterest, when you remove yourself from her world completely, her own mind starts working against her. At first, it's just curiosity. She assumes you'll reach out. But when you don't, she notices. She tells herself it's temporary. But days go by, then weeks. And suddenly, she's checking her phone, checking your socials, wondering why you haven't broken yet. Then curiosity turns into doubt. Was I wrong about him? Did I misjudge his value? Why isn't he reacting the way I expected? Her ego starts taking the hit, and that's when she starts reaching. Small, subtle moves just to see if you'll bite. A random like. A post that feels directed at you. A message that seems casual, but is designed to get a reaction. And this is where most men fail. Because the moment you engage, the chase resets. She gets her answer. You were just waiting for her to throw you a bone. But when you stay cold, when you act like she no longer exists, that's when the fear kicks in. Now she doesn't just miss you. She starts wondering if she ever had you at all. She starts chasing the validation she once took for granted. And the more she reaches, the more you pull away. The more powerful you become in her mind. This is the reverse chase. This is the moment she starts questioning, doubting, and regretting. But it only works if you have the discipline to not react. So, what do? You keep moving forward. You keep building. You don't check her posts. You don't acknowledge her breadcrumbs. You don't give her a single sign that she still matters. And trust me, when she realizes you're truly gone, that's when she feels it the most. If you're ready to stop chasing and start being chased, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am the prize and I do not chase. How to kill her curiosity. The silent mystery. Curiosity is powerful. It drives people mad when they can't figure something out. Right now, she expects to know exactly what's going on with you. She expects to see hints of your pain. She expects to see signs that you're still affected. But what happens when you give her nothing? No social media updates, no cryptic posts, no sudden gym selfies trying to prove a point. Just silence. That's when her curiosity turns into obsession. See, most guys do the opposite. They post motivational quotes about moving on, hoping she sees them. They watch all her stories, leaving a trail of desperation. They make sure she knows they're still paying attention. And guess what? That only confirms what she already believes. That she still has control over your mind. But when you vanish, when she can't figure out what you're thinking, that's when her own mind starts working against her. She checks your profile, nothing. She asks mutual friends, no updates. She waits for you to slip up, to post anything that gives her a clue. But you never do. And that is what makes her spiral. Because now, you're no longer predictable. Now she has to fill in the blanks herself. And the human brain hates an unfinished story. So what does it do? It starts assuming the worst. Did he replace me already? Is he really that unbothered? Was I not as important as I thought? And when a woman starts asking herself these questions, the power shifts completely. This is why silence is louder than any words you could ever say. This is why mystery is more powerful than attention. Because when she can't place you, when she can't read you, she starts feeling the void of your absence. And that's when she starts searching for answers. If you're ready to make her feel your absence like a ghost she can't shake, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My silence creates power. The Stoic mindset: detach or be destroyed. There are only two choices when facing heartbreak: detach or be destroyed. You can either let this pain consume you, allowing it to weaken you, control your thoughts, and make you desperate, or you can use it as fuel to become something greater. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering them. It's about understanding one simple, unshakable truth. You do not control other people. You only control yourself. And that is where most men fail. They waste time overanalyzing her actions, dissecting her words, obsessing over whether she has moved on. That is the path of destruction. That is the path of weakness. Every second spent focused on her is a second not spent building yourself. A stoic man does not chase, does not beg, does not need closure. Why? Because he knows that the only thing within his control is his response, not her choices. She left? Fine. That is outside your control. What is in your control? Your response, your discipline, your growth. And here's the irony. The moment you master detachment, when you truly stop caring whether she regrets leaving or not, that's when she feels it the most. Because you are no longer emotionally invested, you are no longer hers. Detachment is freedom. Freedom from needing validation. Freedom from chasing answers you don't need. Freedom from allowing someone else to control your emotions. So here's what you do. Stop watching her life from the sidelines. Stop checking her social media. Stop entertaining the idea of what could have been. Because every moment spent dwelling on the past is a moment wasted on your future. Shift your focus entirely. Hit the gym. Build your skills. Create a life so fulfilling that whether she comes back or not, It doesn't even matter anymore. And that's when the real power shift happens. When she realizes she no longer affects you. When she sees that you didn't just survive without her, you thrived. If you're ready to take full control of your mind, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I control my focus, and my focus is on me. The reverse chase. Make her feel your absence. Right now, she thinks she's won. She thinks you're suffering in silence, waiting for a chance to prove your worth. But what happens when the script flips? What happens when instead of chasing her, she starts chasing you? Most men think they have to do something to get her attention back. Wrong. The real move is to do nothing. Because when you disappear, when you show absolute disinterest, when you remove yourself from her world completely, her mind starts working against her. First, it starts with curiosity. She assumes you'll reach out. When you don't, she notices. Days go by, then weeks. Suddenly, she's checking her phone, checking your social media, wondering why you haven't broken yet. Then curiosity turns into doubt. Was she wrong about you? Did she misjudge your value? Why aren't you reacting the way she expected? Her ego starts taking the hit. And that's when she starts reaching. Small, subtle moves designed to see if you'll bite. A random like. A post that feels directed at you. A meaningless message just to get a reaction. This is where most men fail. Because the second you engage, the second you react, the chase resets. She gets her answer. You were just waiting for her to throw you a bone. But when you stay cold, when you act like she no longer exists, that's when the fear kicks in. Because now she doesn't just miss you, she starts wondering if she ever really had you at all. This is the reverse chase. It only works if you have the discipline to not react. Keep moving forward. Keep building. Don't check her posts. Don't acknowledge her breadcrumbs. Don't give her a single sign that she still matters. And trust me, when she realizes that you're gone for real, that's when she starts feeling it the most. If you're ready to stop chasing and start being chased, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am the prize. I do not chase. Emotional mastery. Never let them see you sweat. The moment you let your emotions control you, you lose. It doesn't matter how much progress you've made. If she sees even one crack, even one sign of weakness, she knows she still has power over you. And that's something you can never allow. Because here's the truth. She will test you. She might post something designed to get under your skin. She might randomly reach out just to see if you'll take the bait. She might pretend like she's moved on just to trigger a reaction. But you stay unshaken. Emotional control is lethal. When people can't read you, when they expect a reaction and get nothing, it rattles them. Because now, they are the ones feeling uncertain. Who truly holds power in any situation? The one who reacts, or the one who remains composed no matter what happens? It's always the one who stays calm. From this moment forward, you operate from a position of absolute emotional mastery. No anger, no frustration, no sadness. If she texts you, you take your time or don't respond at all. If she tries to make you jealous, you act like you didn't even notice. If she tries to spark an argument, you refuse to engage. Because the second you show that nothing she does affects you anymore, she starts to feel it. She starts to realize that the version of you she once knew, the one who cared too much, the one who needed her validation, is gone. And that is when regret begins to creep in. If you're ready to become immune to mind games, if you're done letting emotions control you, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My emotions serve me. I do not serve them. The rebirth, becoming a man she can't reach anymore. There comes a moment in this journey when you stop caring. Not because you're pretending, not because you're forcing it, but because you've outgrown her. This is the rebirth. The moment you step into a version of yourself that she can no longer access. A version so evolved, so focused, so untouchable, that even if she wanted to come back, she couldn't. Because now, You're not even in the same league. Most men waste time trying to win the breakup, trying to make her regret, trying to prove something. Wrong. That's small thinking. The real victory? It's when she becomes completely irrelevant to your life, because, wow, she was never the prize. You were, and the fact that she couldn't see that? Her loss. So what does this rebirth look like? You become so focused on your goals that she's not even a passing thought. You level up physically, mentally, financially, so much that if she saw you now, she wouldn't even recognize the man she walked away from. You stop seeking validation from anyone because you've built an unshakable sense of self-worth, us from within. And here's the irony. The moment you stop wanting her to regret leaving is the moment she actually does. Because now she's not dealing with the guy she left. She's dealing with a man she can never have again. And you? You don't even care anymore. Because the life you've built is too good to waste on the past. If you're ready to step into your next level, if you're done living for anyone but yourself, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and comment below. I am untouchable. The final lesson: you never needed her anyway. Here's the truth you didn't want to face at the beginning of this journey. You never needed her. Not then, not now, not ever. You thought you did. You convinced yourself she completed you, that she was the missing piece. But that was a lie. A lie you told yourself because you hadn't yet realized your own boss power. Look at where you are now. Look at how far you've come. The boss pain that once felt unbearable, gone. The need for her validation, non-existent. The attachment that kept you trapped, shattered. And the best part? You did this. You built yourself back up. You turned heartbreak into fuel. You transformed into a man who doesn't just survive without her. He thrives. Now, ask yourself, do you honestly believe she has grown the way you have? Do you think she has evolved the way you have? No. Because people who walk away thinking they have the upper hand rarely do the work to improve. They stay stuck. They assume the world still revolves around them. But you broke free. You stopped playing the game. And now, you're untouchable. She might come back. She might test the waters. She might reach out just to see if there's still a version of you she can control. But there won't be. That man is gone. And now, she's just another name in your past. One that no longer carries a weight. This is the final lesson. You never needed her. She was just a chapter, not the story. And now, you write your own story. If you've made it this far, if you've fully embraced your power, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I was always enough. This is a Stoic blessing. Stay strong, stay untouchable,